Welcome everyone to another edition of AEW Dark. Tonight we see Ivelisse back in action as she takes on Big Swole. We'll also have Shawn Spears' open challenge after he captured the Internet Championship in the previous episode, and also our main event tonight, Proud and Powerful will take on the Von Erichs in tag team action. Welcome everyone to a packed episode of AEW Dark. Tonight we'll hear from Shawn Spears after he returned to action last week and defeated Matt Cardona for his AEW Internet Championship. Also, ahead of the Inner Circle Time meeting on Dynamite this week, Santana and Ortiz will be in action. Ivelisse lost her first match here in AEW last week, but she's not one to give up, and she's back in action tonight looking for that first win against Big Swole. Really good, solid segment rating between Excalibur and Renee here on commentary for this episode of Dark. We seem to be pretty consistent when it comes to that, so that's really good to see. Something to think about for maybe a second show in the future. So our first match saw Ivelisse up against Big Swole, and it was a terrible match. Big Swole picking up the win, so now Ivelisse is 0-2, 2 losses to a record after 2 weeks. Not the best of starts to life here in AEW for her, and a segment rating of 25, really poor, although the commentary team did really well as we know. Anyway, Shawn Spears makes his way out to the ring in this next segment with his newly won Internet Championship around his waist, all smiles. He grabs a mic as he steps into the ring. "Where's my champion's entrance, huh? Where's the glitter and gold falling from the ceiling? Where's the fireworks? Last week I returned from a career-threatening injury to win this." He taps the title around his waist, "and yet I get no applause. I get no fanfare. You're all the same. This was supposed to be the promised land, a place where every talent can come and be stripped of those bonds and be creatively free. That's far from the truth, but with this around my waist, I get that little bit of recognition. I get that little bit of respect. I get to have a little say in things. So right now, I want a match. I want to beat someone senseless. So come on." I hope you're watching, Matt. Fireworks hit on the entranceway as Rob Van Dam makes his way out. RVD is here. The whole effing show. We get a 58 for the segment rating. RVD working the crowd well. Not sure whether I'll pursue RVD here in this save with AEW, but he's certainly one of my all-time favourites. Always loved watching RVD, whether it was when he was with ECW or when he made the move over to the WWF at the time, back in the early 2000s. In a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Shawn Spears defeated RVD in 14 minutes 21 when Shawn Spears beat up RVD so badly that the referee had to stop the match. Shawn Spears makes defense number 1 of his Internet Championship, so he's always got to be defending that Internet title. And he did so against RVD, who looked to dethrone Shawn Spears, and that just wasn't the case. RVD, it's not looking good for him. He was always a sucker for taking beatings, wasn't he? And he's such a good seller as well, Rob Van Dam. Always remember that deadly looking RKO that he took, was it back in 05, 06 from Randy Orton. He sold it so good, you almost thought, oh, he's broke his neck. This doesn't look too good. So anyway, having him beaten so badly that the ref had to stop the match, it writes him off because it was just a local worker deal, just a one-time deal, bringing in RVD, but it also opens up an opportunity maybe to bring him back, maybe another story there with Shawn Spears at some point in the future. And we did have Raven as the road agent for this match, so maybe there's something there later on down the line. You guys are just going to have to stay tuned as a quick promo plays after the match. Plug in this week's Dynamite, where we'll see the Inner Circle Town Hall meeting with Chris Jericho. The AEW World Champion Jon Moxley teams up with Kenny Omega. The history between those two as they take on the World Tag Team Champions Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix of Death Triangle, and so much more. You guys do not want to miss it, as our main event of AEW Dark this week ends with Proud and Powerful standing tall as winners after just under 20 minutes. It was Ortiz that submitted Marshall Von Erich, and it was a decent match, and that is really good to see, because when I first brought in the Von Erichs, I thought, oh, it's not going to work out. Really disappointed. They are great workers in real life, but in this database, it just seemed like the potential is there, but straight away, they're not going to come in and light the world up, but that looks promising as we get a 51 show rating for Dark this week, which is an improvement on last week's, definitely. So there we have it. That is it for Dark. Do not miss the next episode of AEW Dynamite here on TEW 2020. Can't wait for you guys to see it. But for now, that's it. Thanks for watching.